Every time you rise, someone will try to pull you back down. Every time you step forward, someone will step in your way. And the exact moment you begin to level up, jealousy appears. Whispering, mocking, sabotaging. It feels personal, but it's not. This is an ancient pattern, a human instinct, a test baked into the very nature of growth. The Stoics faced it 2,000 years ago. Warriors, emperors, exiles, outsiders. Every one of them was attacked for improving, and they left us a roadmap to rise without breaking. When you grow, people see their own stagnation reflected in you. Some will cheer, some will admire, but many will resist. Not because you're wrong, because you remind them of what they could be, but aren't. Today we're breaking down 7 things that always happen when you level up, backed by the ancient wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and stories from the real world that prove these lessons never die. Stay with me, because number 5 is the one most people refuse to talk about. And number 7 is the single biggest filter of who belongs in your future. 1. They downplay your achievements. When you start improving, the first attack is almost always dismissal. It's not a big deal. Anyone could do that. It's nothing special. They don't attack you. They attack the meaning of your progress. The Stoics saw this clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be indifferent to what makes others boastful or resentful. Do not let praise inflate you. Do not let criticism deflate you. Remove both from your fuel tank, because the moment you rely on public validation, you hand them the power to control your direction." Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, achieved more in a month than most men achieved in a lifetime. Yet people still dismissed him. They accused him of being too soft, too philosophical, too detached. Their criticisms meant nothing, because his mission never depended on their understanding. Imagine running your first 5K after months of struggle, and someone shrugs and says, "That's nothing." They're not judging your achievement. They're protecting their own comfort. And if dismissal doesn't work? Don't worry, they have another weapon. They'll try to trap you in your past. And that's where things get personal. 2. They compare you to your old self. When someone can't handle who you're becoming, they drag out who you used to be. You've changed. You're different. You're not the same person. These lines sound like observations, but they're warnings. Warnings that your growth is no longer convenient for them. Epictetus said it perfectly. If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, because growth pulls you away from the identity that kept others comfortable. Epictetus was once a slave. When he began to embrace philosophy, his owner mocked him, told him to stop pretending, told him he'd never be more than property. Years later, Epictetus became one of the most respected teachers in the ancient world. Maybe you stop drinking as much. Maybe you start waking up earlier. Maybe you begin reading, training, building, and suddenly the people who once accepted you criticize you. Not because you changed for the worse, but because you changed without them. But the next reaction is even more subtle and more damaging. When people can no longer pull you backward with words, they'll put obstacles in your path. 3. They try to create friction in your path. Some people attack quietly, invisibly, not with confrontation, but with friction. You'll feel it. Blocked support, cold shoulders, withheld help, quiet sabotage. And Marcus Aurelius gives us one of the most powerful truths ever written. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, obstacles aren't interruptions. They're part of the curriculum. The Roman general Julius Agricola was intentionally blocked by jealous rivals who feared his rise. So what did he do? He used every obstruction to strengthen his army, discipline his soldiers, and sharpen his strategy. The resistance forged him. Boss doesn't promote you? Now you learn to outskill everyone. Someone deletes your project file? Now you rebuild it. Stronger. Someone spreads rumors? Now you learn to detach your identity from gossip. And when obstacles don't stop you, When you keep rising, people switch to the weapon that scares most into quitting: public mockery. 4. They mock your discipline. When you choose discipline, you threaten the comfort of everyone around you. Wake up early, they call you obsessive. Turn down a party, they call you boring. Train hard, they call you extreme. Seneca warned us, the crowd values amusement, the wise value progress. Seneca was mocked relentlessly for his strict routines, his cold baths, his fasting, his writing schedule. People laughed, until he became one of Rome's greatest thinkers, advisor to an emperor, and an author read for centuries. Most people aren't afraid you'll fail. They're afraid you'll succeed, because then they lose their excuses. Let them laugh. Let them misunderstand. Let them doubt. Because their laughter isn't about you. It's about the parts of themselves they refuse to confront. But the harshest reaction is still ahead. Some won't mock you. They'll simply vanish. And this one hurts the most. 5. They distance themselves from you. Growth creates separation. Naturally, inevitably, automatically. People fade away. Quietly, subtly, without explanation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything is in motion. Everything is change." Sometimes growth means losing people you thought would be in your life forever. Marcus lost friends as he rose to power. Not because he became an emperor, but because he became disciplined, focused, and philosophical. People who once knew him no longer recognized who he was becoming. You start a business, and your old circle stops inviting you out. You start working on yourself, and people call you too serious. You develop purpose, and they no longer know how to talk to you. This is painful, but it isn't a tragedy. It's a filter. But here's the twist most people never expect. Some of the people who distance themselves will return, and not in the way you think. 6. They quietly begin to copy you. Imitation is a strange mixture of admiration and resentment. They criticized your habits, mocked your discipline, dismissed your growth, and then they start doing the exact same things. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Because the Stoic doesn't seek recognition. The Stoic seeks mastery. Epictetus's former owner, who once mocked him, later adopted several of Epictetus's teachings for his own household. He never admitted it. He never gave credit. He just quietly followed the man he once belittled. The friend who mocked your gym routine starts exercising. The co-worker who laughed at your budgeting starts tracking their finances. The person who said your goals were unrealistic starts pursuing similar ones. And this is where emotional maturity matters. Let them copy. Let your results become the message. Because the final truth, number 7, is the ultimate test of leveling up. It determines who will walk with you and who will fall away forever. 7. They eventually follow you or fall away. In the end, growth forces a decision on everyone around you. They rise with you or they fall away. The Stoics never clung to people out of fear. They embraced the natural sorting process of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What remains is what is fit to remain." Your growth is the filter. It reveals who truly belongs in your future. The Stoics lost friends, advisors, allies, not through conflict, but through evolution. Some rose beside them, some walked away, some couldn't keep up. As you grow, your circle shrinks, but becomes stronger. Fewer people, but deeper bonds. Less noise, more clarity. Less drama, more direction. Leveling up doesn't just change you, it changes your entire ecosystem. Resistance is not proof you're failing, it's proof that you're moving. Every doubt, every critic, every distance, every whisper, every obstacle, they are the exact signals that you're on the right path. The Stoics didn't fear resistance, they expected it, they used it, they turned it into strength. What stands in your way becomes the way. If you're leveling up, don't do it alone. Surround yourself with wisdom that fuels your strength your discipline, and your growth. Subscribe if you want more Stoic truths each week. And share this video with someone who's ready to rise. The world will try to break you, but together, we'll make each other unbreakable.